Businesses are clearly under pressure from all sides to reduce their carbon emissions. How can they measure just how much carbon they're actually emitting? How do they do it? Well, the company that comes up with a reliable way to measure emissions has a potential goldmine on its hands. Meet John Schwarz, executive board member at the software giant SAP. He says his company can streamline the process.
Well, Stuart.
Well, John, have you got a measure, a way of measuring the carbon emissions for individual buildings and factories? You got it?
We do, absolutely. Stuart, we touch something like 60 or 70% of all the transactions between companies that relate to trade of any resource or any commodity.
It's not a CO2 little meter that sits at the factory and measures how many CO2s are going up the pipe, is it?
It can be. We understand how each step of each production contributes to CO2 or any other usage of natural resources. And we can actually track it because these transactions are visible.
Okay.
They all have a measure.
Because SAP works with enterprise software where you put an entire company's operations on the same software platform.
Exactly.
So you're saying because you handle the software for every stage of production in that company, you can measure each little individual stage what the CO2 emission is.
Exactly, and we can track it, we can produce the reports, and we can make sure that these reports meet international standards.
Is it corruptible? Could I, if I was the owner of that business, corrupt the system and game that system, and so I emit less CO2s?
It is, of course, subject to human intervention.
Yes.
But there are standards for what individual steps of different processes produce in terms of carbon, and we can compare organizations as to their own results relative to each other. And so you can see if things go out of whack in some unpredictable way and can go back and check.
Is this a new line of business for SAP?
It is, but it's also our contribution to our social responsibility as a global company.
Okay, social responsibility. We got it, okay, John. Now, seriously, have you installed this for any businesses yet?
Yes, we have. In fact, we heard Valero on the previous segment.
Right.
They are a user of our technology. They use this to understand the amount of energy that's used in the production of the fuel that they refine.
Any organization, then, for which you supply the enterprise software, you can turn on the CO2 meter very, very quickly.
We can sell them a piece of software that exactly does that. You turn on the meter and track.
Nice piece of business, SAP.
Thank you.
You're welcome. John Schwarz, SAP, thanks for joining us, sir. We do appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
Back to the big board. We've got